I am Yusha-Marie Sorzano. I'm originally from the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I am a choreographer, a creator, and a performer. And I'm here at Madison Ballet to create a new work for their 2023 season. So I began dancing at the age of 8 when I immigrated to the United States. And I got pretty much all of my training in the public school system. And I was brought to ballet through that experience. I got ballet, I got jazz and modern, and I loved ballet. I loved it so very much, and there was much I needed to work on just based on seeing what excellent ballerinas looked like. But in the beginning, it never dawned on me that my skin wasn't up on that stage. I was just so in love with the art form itself. And I've continued to be in love with it. But as I've gotten older and realized the reality of what it means to be in this body as a Black woman, as an immigrant, I found that ballet doesn't come to me. It does not seek my voice. It does not seek my lived experience. And I think it should, because I think it needs to evolve. I think all things need to always evolve. So when I say that I need ballet to come to me rather than me going to ballet, at this point, I think it's about the conversation, it actually becoming a conversation. You know, I felt like she talked to me my whole life, and now I'm ready for her to talk with me. It's funny. I actually I feel the most comfortable either making a solo or working with very large groups. Like, I have this joy in figuring out patterns and rhythms when it's a really big group, and like how a canon can just like really push the music to a different place. So I wanted to challenge myself this time around to like make it a number that makes me uncomfortable, and and yet, so it's 3 couples. It's pas de deux, it's trios, it is at times solos. I picked artists for the first cast that will take to the stage. I picked the artists that I felt not only that were physically ready at the time to step into what I'm asking for, but emotionally willing to go there, because I'm a really emotional choreographer. Like, I cannot hide that about myself. If I don't really believe what I'm making or like what the narrative is, like, I just don't buy it. And if I don't buy it, I'm not going to sell it. You know what I mean? So I ask a lot of questions in the beginning. I tell them what my intention is. I ask them what they think about it. I ask them how they relate to it. What is their experience? I try not to pry, because it's not my space to pull those things out of people, but as much as they're willing to give. And I try to be vulnerable, tell a lot of stories in the room. Sometimes it'll be things that are relevant to dance, and sometimes it'll be something that is completely irrelevant to dance, like the way that I watched an older woman connect to a child on the street. Like, that's where I think about that, and I'm like, oh, how does that inform choreography? And at the same time, it's also what the dancer's instincts are, because if it doesn't really fit them, it feels inauthentic to me. So we are we just completed week 1 of our process, and it's been amazing. And the dancers have jumped all the way in, not just the cast that's taken to the stage, but the people that are, in the role of kind of understudy or cover, just for the whole creative experience. I like to work with everybody. I don't like to come into spaces and, I'm choreographer, hear me roll. But yeah, it's been really extraordinary to be here in Madison, Wisconsin, and to see what is being built here. I have been really pulled to the Symphony of Sorrowful Songs by Henryk Górecki. And this is the second time that I have used one of these 3 movements. And there's something that is so pulling and soulful in the sound, and so clear in terms, for me, a story being told. And when you do the research into the music, it tells the tale of motherhood, of childhood, of loss, of something that I think is critical to the human experience. And so I'm using specifically the third movement, and we are building a work about motherhood and about that intangible cord that binds us to the person that brings us into the world, and what it means to lose that person, what it means to relinquish that cord. What does it do to the soul? So essentially it's about grief, and the waves of grief, how to process that. Oh, well, I'm still trying to figure out how the sum of all of the things I've done as a creator shape me. And I think the thing that's most clear to me is that I'd like to fully integrate all of the voices. When you dance for a repertory company such as Ailey, or just any repertory company, you're consistently changing hats and trying on these different choreographers, right? And in that, you are getting this beautiful gift of languages. And I found that in the early stages of my career, like just so thrilling that I could essentially code switch. Code switching is something I've struggled with a lot more as I've gotten older, because code switching means that, like, what's my intrinsic code, you know? So as I create now, I'm still pulling from all of those different styles, those different things, and also trying to figure out, like, okay, what's really Usha? I think when we start to make, we tend to mimic what we saw, right? And it takes a long time to kind of strip off other people's voices before you finally start to find your own. And then it takes a lot of bravery to use that voice, because the reality is that though it's an art form that we love, it gets judged. And yeah, so that is all of those different companies, all of those different leaders, all of those different people have been having conversations with me, similar to what I want ballet to do with me. And now I'm trying to weave together the sum of those experiences and speak back to, and it's also a conversation with the dancers, also a conversation with the human beings in the rooms, because they are the ones that take it to the stage. They are the ones that are telling those stories. And I don't think I realized how powerful that was when I was actually dancing. I oftentimes say a choreographer is only as good as the dancers in the room. And I really believe that now. That's a great question. I think ballet has to maintain the rigor that it has to be ballet, right? I really want people to, so that's what makes it to me the most special. I love watching the years of power that comes from tendu. I love watching the musculature of ballet. But I also think we have to figure out how to bring more diverse training into ballet group, like companies, because I have found that even though I might have had this career and worked with different choreographers, when I go into the room and if the dancer has not, this is going to be a learning curve. And I think that all choreographers face that challenge, and the ones that impress me the most, or the rooms that impress me the most, are the ones that recognize how much time it takes to actually learn a different language. It's when we start to learn the different languages that ballet will start to really move. And it can keep itself. Now it can put on. It can talk to us. Oh, that's tough. Catharsis, grief in a way that makes the body feel heavy, but also in a way that makes you feel, I think, somewhat vulnerable in the best way. I want to keep going. Not fair. 3 words. Yeah. And then if I dare add one more, there is some hope in there. There is like a sense of coming out of that weight and recognizing that if you are still here, if the sun has come up, if the flower has bloomed, then there is still hope, right? Which is a scary thing, especially in these times when it feels like there's a lack of hope. But I think we have to keep remembering that we can't give up as long as we're here. I really hope they understand how powerful dance is as a communication vehicle. Like, I think that because dance doesn't have the budget of other art forms in terms of like cinema or symphony, that people don't come and talk to it. And I think that you bringing as many different voices that are unique and varying to the space that reflect the community, it will make they will feel seen, right? And that, I think, is what everybody longs for in life, is to be seen. So my hope is that when these audiences come to the theater to see these works, the works that are being born this season and onward, that they will recognize a voice from an artistic director who's saying, I see you. Come be seen, and come enjoy the human experience on stage.